In this lab, we're going to create a certificate authority and a server certificate. In order for this to work, we're going to change into the root user's home directory and create the important directory structure that must exist in order for OpenSSL to function when generating a new certificate authority and any certificates down below. So from root's home directory, we're going to make a directory called demo CA along with a subdirectory called certs. And then we're going to change into that directory, the demo CA, and make a few directories, the CRL, the new certs, the requests, and the private directories. Okay. So if we take a look, we can see those directories in there. We also need to make it so that private is protected from people peeking in. It's fairly important that you do so. So a chmod 700 on the private directory is what we're looking at. Now, if we take a look, you can see that it has indeed been changed. Now, if we go back to the root directory, what actually defines these subdirectories is actually sitting in the etc ssl subdirectory in a file called openssl.cnf. And if you take a look at it, let me just cat that real quick, etc ssl and openssl.conf. And if you look about the 40th line, you can see the definitions for the directories themselves. Some of them are listed here, demo CA and so on. Okay, so those are important that you have, and your openssl.cnf has that. These are default values in SUSE Linux, and so you should see those if you go look at that file. Now, let's use the openssl command to create a new root CA and self-sign it. So openssl, again, at the directory where demo CA exists, so not in demo CA, just above it. OpenSSL, we're making a new request, and we're using the X509 protocol for it, and key out, and then we do where the key out is going to be, and private ca key.pim, and then we have to give it an out value of demo ca cert.pim. Now, it is very important that this is typed properly. Obviously, you don't want to make any mistakes here, so we will double check and make sure that we have this right. Key and RSA, and the value is 4096 for it, okay? All right, and so we're going to give it a passphrase. Now, I'm going to give it a very simple passphrase. The passphrase is secret. But you should know that that's not a very good one for a certificate authority. It should be something relatively hard to guess, and the standard rules and then some for good passwords apply. It now is going to ask me some things like what country. Well, we'll do DE. We'll do Bavaria for the state. And let's use Nuremberg there. And SUSE training will be the organization name, and we'll do organizational unit of IT in this case, and the common name will be root CA2 of SUSE training, like that. And then it will ask for an email address, so caadmin@example.com. Okay, so we've created a new server certificate, and we're going to take that and copy it out. Now, this would be the certificate file for it. So we're just going to copy demo CA cert.pim to the TMP directory, and we'll call it ca cert-root ca2.pim. Okay, so we've just copied that off. Okay, so we've got this generated, we've created it, and when we created this, we want to use some of these same values as default values when we create certificates and server certificates and other certificates and things that, or keys that come out of this, or out of this CA. So the CA is at the top of the hierarchy, and anything created from it, we can set default values for that. We do that by editing the etc ssl openssl.cnf file that we talked about earlier. So we come down and there's a line called country country name, right? And this is going to be, and we're going to change this. We don't want to change this one. We want to change the one country name underscore default. And we're going to change this one from AU, which is what showed up when we created that. We're going to change it to DE. Okay. And then we're going to look for state or province name default. And it says some state. And we're going to change this as well. And we're going to add Bavaria. Okay. And then we could do the organization name. We're just setting default so that it will pre-populate for us. Just makes it faster when we're generating certificates. So let's just delete these. And we're just going to add in SUSE training as the organization name default. And then we're going to find the unit name default, which you'll notice is actually commented out, but we're going to add it. We remove that comment and do IT as the default value there. Now we're just going to go ahead and save this. So we've got our CA created, our certificate authority. Now we're going to create a certificate signing request. Now this could be assigned to a server or to an accounting server or a web server or something like that. And we do that by creating a request and then using the CA to say, I approve this request, and generating out our certificate. So we use the open SSL command again with the rec command. It's new, and key out on demo CA private server key.pem, and we use an out command for our request to server underscore rec.pem. Now again, what we're doing is we're saying generate a new request, and then you can use the CA to approve it or to define it. So when we do it, it says, what's the passphrase for this server going to be? We're going to make this one even easier than the last. We'll just say it's SUSE. Okay. And then notice that DE is the default for the country name. Okay. Province name is now Bavaria, like we wanted. And locality name, we didn't actually define that, but we're going to define that. SUSE training is the default. We'll just hit enter. And IT is the organizational unit name. Now the common name, in this case, it's going to be the name of the server, and this should be the fully qualified name, accounting.example.com. And the email address will be something like webmaster@example.com, like that. Okay, and we don't need a challenge password. We could do that, but we're just gonna leave those blank. Okay, so we've created that. Now, in order for us to take the certificate authority and to approve the request we've just generated saying, hey, accounting.example.com needs a certificate, we need to create a couple of files so we can track how many certificates have been generated and so forth. And we're going to do those by creating an index file and a serial number file. So those sit under demo CA. So we're going to touch the demo CA, the one we want is index.txt. So we've created that, and we're going to echo a 01 into the demo CA serial file. Okay, so we put a value in there. Now we're going to actually generate the server certificate. We're going to approve the request that came in by using the CA. We do that by doing the open SSL command, CA saying we're inside of the certificate authority when we do this, policy, and policy anything, days. So how long is the certificate valid for? 365. We're going to specify the out to the demo CA certs server crt.pem, and in files, so we have to tell it where the request is, and we go demo CA requests server request.pem. When prompted, now it's asking for the passphrase. This is the server certificate. CA key is what it's saying. And this one was secret. Like that. Do we want to sign the certificate? Yes. And certificate request? Yes, go ahead. There you go. It's now generated that certificate. We can actually look at those files that were created in demo CA certs and server CRT PEM. Okay, there's our certificate there. And we could also look at the server key. But both of those exist now, and we've generated them using the CA, created our CA, created our certificates, created requests, approved the request, and brought those in underneath. So now we have available to us the use of certificates from this certificate authority. And that's how you work with it from the command line in SUSE Linux Enterprise.